Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If if you are, even if you're not, if you're like me and you have had multiple jobs, you have moved multiple times. My earrings messed up. Anyway, I just got back from a bike ride, so I'm a little chilly, but that's okay. It was an amazing. Oh God, today is gorgeous. But anyway, back to my point. I looked at in my last video, I think it was my last one, talked about getting to this point wherever you are in your life. You get to this point and you look back over your life and you think, um, you look at what you have accomplished or what you haven't accomplished, either way. But focus on the positives. And it hit me the other night when I was talking about where I am. And I was just talking to a friend of mine and I told her, I said, people want to knock me because I've been married a few times. 3 to 5 years is usually about the extent of how long I stay in a job. Moving, usually 3 to 5 years. The longest stretch, well, in my adult life, the longest stretch was when I was with my last husband. And I will tell you, I was miserable because I wanted to move. I despise moving, the physical moving part, but I have done it so many times in my life. So, but then I started thinking, you know what? I look at people and there's no judgment. If you have been in the same job, my sister has been in the same job with the same company, I think most of her adult life, in an office. That's not me. Oh my God, that would drive me absolutely insane. I want freedom. I want change. I want different things. And people have told me before, well, you're just not settled. You're never happy. You need to figure out what makes you happy. You know what? Variety is a spice of life. I look back over my life. If you are that person that people look at you like you're never settled, nothing ever makes you happy, you never stay put. The way I look at it is I look at, my God, how much I've learned. The different, the different jobs I've had, the different companies, the different types of jobs, the knowledge that I've gained, the things that I've learned, just life experiences. You won't get that in the same job with the same company and you stay there forever. You learn what they want you to learn, yeah. And for some people, that's fine. But if you are like me, don't let, and again, you know what? Where is it anybody else's business what you do? If you are happy, do it. If staying in the same job is what makes you happy, they need people like you. Some companies want stability. I guess all companies want stability. So they need people that want to stay in the same position. That's not me. So, but again, look at yourself, look at what you've learned. I look back and I think, look at the number of, I got to run my own business. I had my dream job, which was decorating cakes. Not everybody can say that they've been able to run their own business. People dream of having their own business. People dream of being able to do their own thing. But then they don't do it because they're afraid, or the situation doesn't work right. And I guess I see faith is written like this big across in front of me, because I have gone through situations that people just, they look at me like I'm crazy because I've left my job and I didn't have another one lined up, or I started my own business, or I left my job. And I mean, when I moved out here, I didn't know where my job was going to go. I didn't know where my house was going to be. I just knew that it was going to work out okay. But I look back at my life and I think, where is it for anybody to judge me? I'm proud of the things that I know and the experiences that I've had. Just because you're not like somebody else doesn't mean you're wrong. There's that, well, that's a 5-letter word. WRONG. Yeah, it's a 5-letter word. It's a nasty word. You're not wrong. If somebody tells you you're wrong, close them out. Don't listen to it. So I look at, like I said, I look at the experiences that I've had. And if it doesn't match anybody else, who cares? You're here to make you happy. Now, I'm not saying don't be disrespectful to anybody else, and don't just leave a company hanging. I mean, because yes, I have been in management. I understand what it's like to have employees that don't care and they just leave. And then you have a shift that's open and you got to try to figure out how to fill it. So don't do that. Give your notice, be respectful, and exit if you're not happy there. Because the other thing, I think of the number of people that are in a job and they're miserable. How many times have you gone to the store, a restaurant to eat, wherever? We just went and picked up my motorcycle from having work done. Thankfully, this was not the case there. But how many times do you run into somebody and you're like, oh my God, they're miserable? And you think, if you don't like your job that much, go somewhere else. Now granted, some people, yeah, you can have a bad day. But when you see this person over and over again, they're always grumpy. They hate their job. Or they tell you, yeah, I'm just here. I can't wait for 5 o'clock to get here so I can go home. Find something you enjoy doing. And again, life is too short to be miserable. Because I will tell you, as the manager of the company, as the owner of a business, I wouldn't want somebody working for me that was unhappy. because you are a reflection on that business. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But my point, be happy. Don't listen to anybody else about how you're supposed to live your life. I can't even, I laughed about it the other day, and I can't remember why. Somebody said something about a resume. I'm trying to think. And I thought, if I had to put together a resume, holy moly. Of course, I didn't just graduate college either, so I have multiple years to try to put into a resume. And again, typically 3 to 5 years, and I'm moving to a different company, doing something different. But I look at the knowledge that I've gained. I didn't even stay in one profession. I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything I've done, but it's vast. Everything from pumping gas at a gas stock to waitressing to law enforcement. And a security manager. Being a security manager was my last job before now working for me. And in between there was a whole lot. So this is where you're here to have experiences. It's your choice what experiences you choose to have. And I think about people that are just absolutely miserable and they feel stuck. That's your choice. I used to, when I would watch these girls, and if you're in this situation, you have a choice to make. But I would watch these girls that had been beaten, put in the hospital, and they would go to court to testify. And no, he didn't do that. Or no, I'm fine. Because you can't prosecute if you don't no victim, no crime. If she says she's okay, you can't lock him up because she's saying no, everything was fine. Even though he needed to be locked up, personally, he probably needed the hell beat out of him. But that's a whole nother thing. Because you don't treat people like that. If you're in that position, you're making a choice to stay there. You can get out. You deserve better. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship or a job or a house. If it's not what you want, you have to change your mindset. You deserve whatever you want. You weren't put here to suffer. You weren't put here to work your butt off for somebody else and never get any gratitude, never get anything other than a hard time and a measly paycheck. It's the limiting beliefs that we were taught by the people that are controlling you, making you think that you don't deserve anything more than this, and you should be thankful you have this job. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. There's so much swimming in my head at the moment. God. Because it's like, if you have a strong work ethic and you have a good attitude, they need to be grateful that you're working for them, not vice versa. They should respect you and be thankful you're there, not treat you like a number, not treat you like they're doing you a favor by giving you a job. No. Anyway, so again, this is your journey. If you're not happy, what is your choice? Are you going to stay in a situation that's not making you happy? And do everything out of love. Everything. Even if it's a relationship and you're that person it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, because there are women that beat the crap out of men. You don't need to stay in that relationship. So, regardless, even if it's out of self-love, love yourself enough to get out of that situation. Again, whether it's a relationship, a job, a house, whatever. You're never stuck. There's always a way out. But you have to change your mindset first. And it might not be instantaneous. It's a process. The wheels start moving to bring you to where you want to be. And I don't know. I mean, if you have questions, I'm here to help you. I have been I've been in a lot of situations. Different jobs. I've lived in, I cannot even tell you how many places. Literally. I can't even, it would take me a while to count how many times I've moved. So, but I know if I'm not happy, nobody's going to be happy. Because if I'm not happy, I'm miserable. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to make everybody else around me miserable. So I just know it's time to move on. Even if it's out of self-love. Because I deserve to be happy. And so do you. So, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But when you set an intention, the universe is there to back you. Sometimes it is taking that leap of faith. It's like jumping off a building and just knowing that the universe, God, source, the creator, whatever you call the ultimate power, just knowing that they've got you. Now, don't go jump off a building. That's not what I mean. And you guys know, I think by now you should know what I mean. Just have faith. If you feel like it's not right, if you get to a point and you're like, you know what? I deserve better. I desire better. I want better. Don't get caught up in the situation. Don't focus on the problem. Focus on what you want. See it. If you want a different relationship, sometimes, no. Your situation is a reflection of you, your internal. So if you want a different relationship, become the person that you want to date or want to be married to. You become that type of person. It's funny. I think it was my husband. He read something, saw something. I don't know. These women, and of course he's a guy, so he was, he was reading about women. But these women wanted this handsome guy who's wealthy and all that kind of stuff to take care of them. And then you interview these handsome, wealthy men, and they're like, no, I want a woman that's secure, that's sound, that's got her act together. So if you're that woman and you want that handsome guy that's set, you need to take care of yourself. And I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying take care of yourself. Become what you want to date. Get yourself in a position where you're grounded and you're doing okay for yourself. Don't wait for somebody to come bail you out, because you know what? The person that's coming to bail you out is exactly like you. They're wanting somebody to come bail them out. It's just how it works. So, become the person. You have to change you. In every scenario, you have to change you first. And it starts with your mindset. If you need help, reach out to me. I will put a link to both of my books below. They will both help you. So, and don't worry about what anybody else says. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks about you. As long as you're doing it from a place of love for you and you're not harming anybody else, who cares what anybody else thinks? That's not their journey. You live your journey. Enjoy it. Live it to the best of your ability. It's time to move away from the judgment. It's time for us and everybody else in the world. They're not, somebody's judging them. Nobody's perfect. And nobody should be judging anybody. That's the whole point. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope, I just say whatever I'm guided to say. So somebody needs to hear this today. And it will get to you exactly when it's meant to get to you. But again, you do you, boo-boo. If nobody else gets you, that's okay. Most people don't get me. I know my husband does. Of course, sometimes he struggles, but he understands. If he didn't, we wouldn't be together. Because up to that point, nobody else got me. So, anyway, I love you guys. I send you so much love. If this resonates with you, if you got something out of it, click the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you have, thank you. I appreciate every one of you. Share this video because people need to. Some people stay stuck, stay where they are because they're worried about what everybody else is going to say or what everybody else is going to think about them. You know what? Don't worry about it. Step into your power. Step into you, who you are. You didn't come here to make anybody else happy but you. So, have an amazing day. I'm sending you lots of love, and we'll talk soon.